Good morning, everybody. This is Sarah Perry, psychic, intuitive, artist, entrepreneur. I hope you're all doing well. Thought I'd just check in today because there's been some major shifts happening going on, and many of our routines are being upset right now. And for many of you, you may feel like the bottom has come completely out of your boat and you are sinking very, very fast. This is because we are at the cliffhanger of change, okay? Before abundance arrives, there is an ebb in the tides. Everything is sucked back. It'll feel like we're going downwards in a spiral, down the rabbit hole, into oblivion, where there doesn't seem to be any bottom in sight. In fact, a bottomless pit, as you might call it. This is the time to really trust, okay? We may not be able to see the handles to hang on to, but there are these invisible ones around, or invisible hands of support and through the universe, which is carrying us somewhere, which is just very different. It's just so dramatic, you know. It's like watching the end of a season of your favourite series, and you know it ends on a cliffhanger and you have to wait another 6 months for it to start again so you can see what happens. Now, as with all cliffhangers on seasons, at the end of seasons, you know, you come back and it's never as hugely dramatic as you thought it was going to be, but it keeps you on the edge of your seat so that you wait for that next episode. So you want to see what's coming next. And that's what the universe is doing again. It's keeping us, although it's kind of monotonous in a way, that wait for something to happen, it's keeping us on the edge of our seats. So that's why we're having all these little tower moments happen with dramatic change, where we're being pushed left, right, centre, forwards, up and down in many cases. It's because we're not listening. We're not allowing ourselves to just be in the flow. If we just sat back, put the seatbelt on and relaxed a little bit, we'd find things an awful lot easier. This is the time to tune out, but to tune in. Okay, this is the wait period. This is the time where things are kind of happening behind the scenes, where we've got to wait for the interval before the curtain comes up again. The last half of a show, or the big show, is going to be the most dramatic, the most exciting, okay? It's the season finale, guys, and we're coming into that. If you've done all the work, if you have been practicing your techniques, if you have been focusing on your passions, if you've been looking at all the positives and keeping yourself in that high vibration, oh my goodness, you are going to experience something phenomenal. Only on Friday, I'm pretty certain it was Friday, Thursday or Friday, I felt this major shift happen. And I even got messages from clients saying amazing things are about to happen. It was like at that point we all tuned in together and felt something amazing. The next day, I fell straight back down again to zero. However, that's just because it was a preview. It was a preview of what is to come. And that's what we're being given, these little glimpses, so that we don't lose faith, so that we don't lose hope. These are those invisible hands from the universe I'm talking about, the ones that are there to support you. Yes, they may not be constant at this point, but they are glimpses of hope, so that we can keep going and moving forwards and focusing. Now, if you are feeling like you're being pulled back dramatically in some ways, or things are harder work, you know, and you've got to redo things or revisit, it's because something needs to be redone, okay? Because maybe you've missed some details. Maybe you've got to add some more information to make something better. Maybe the foundations aren't quite strong enough yet and you're being held back for some reason. Just trust that. I know it's boring. I know for some of you it's been going on for years. I can feel it. And you might be feeling like you're just going to crack under the pressure. But this is the time then to focus on the positives, but look back at the development that you have had. It's very much like, and I was saying this in a reading earlier about training a dog, okay? You get so far and then the dog takes a step back, or maybe bringing up a child, okay? You do so well, everything's going wonderful, you've got a great routine, and then they go for another growth spurt, they start learning things, they become more independent, and then they push the boundaries again. And you feel like you've gone hurtling backwards, 20 steps. And at that moment, you think like nothing was learned. But that's the point, to go back and say, no, Let's stay with the positives. Let's look how far we've already come, because this is just a little setback, okay? So when abundance comes in, we have a setback to trust, because abundance is about receiving. We have to be in a place of receiving. And in some cases, that's a place of vulnerability. That's a place of trust in other people. Trust that someone will find you when all falls apart. You know, that the right people will come in. If you're noticing right now that many people aren't there, that they're not coming through when you feel at your lowest, they're not meant to be there. They're not part of your tribe. Just trust that this is a positive thing of confirmation of who isn't really with you. You know, if you were considering these people to be part of an important business transaction or project you are undertaking, and they can't be there at your, you know, when things fall apart, or, you know, at the low times, they're only there when they want, you know, they're ready to take the profits, then they're not really much use to you. So get into this kind of frame of mind where you can just kind of recognize what these signs are, what you're being shown, and see the positives. Yes, allow yourself to be a bit sad, have a little cry, release. Crying is acknowledgement. It's release of what you're learning. It's a way of letting go in itself. How many of you hold on and cope and don't want to cry? I'm not going to cry because I'll fall apart. You're not going to fall apart. You're just turning the taps on. You're turning the abundance back on, okay? You're turning the flow on. When you're holding back your tears, you're restricting things, okay? Be yourself, be emotional, but let go of dwelling. So let's level look at, you know, some other things that are coming into play in August. We've got doors opening left, right and centre, but some will swing right round. You know, it might feel like you're going in one of those swivel doors, you know, you get in the entrance of hotels. And if you keep going, you'll just keep going round and round and round and round. If you're noticing you're going round and round, that's a sign in itself that you're coming full circle. If you're acknowledging the circle, it means that you can step out of the circle and move into a new circle or a new cycle. Acknowledgement is key here. When you're aware of something, then you can change it. It's like saying, I always do that. Why do you know, I'm like that. That's who I am. Well, if you like it, then great. But if you don't like it, change. Don't make excuses for it. You don't have to justify anything. Just make the change. Divine timing is so much in play here. And play is key. Playtime. Play with your passions. Have some fun. Relax. Again, be vulnerable. Trust that you'll be looked after. If you really trust and have faith that spirit is there, or you really have faith in abundance, you will do, because you know that it will come in when you really, really need it, or when you really least expect. There's so much to be had by this. And at the same time, not only will you be learning yourself, but you will also be spreading the word and teaching others. So stay with the program, guys. Stick with it. Stay strong. There is so much support out there, but the right support, okay? Sometimes where you're looking isn't the right direction. If you're only seeing darkness, then turn your head and look towards the light. Stay safe, guys. Stay happy, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.